Hello, I'm Harrison Keeley. Here's a quick look at today's top stories. First of all, an East Tennessee woman allegedly drove her car into a church Sunday night and then stabbed her husband in the chest at the altar because she says he was worshiping Nascar. 23-year-old Stephanie Faye Hamman allegedly said that God told her to drive through the front doors of Providence Church in Churchill on Sunday night. After the crash, she reportedly called her husband, Stephen, who had been at home on Sunday night watching the NASCAR race on TV. When he arrived, she allegedly tried to stab him in the heart with a large kitchen knife. She told police that the devil told her to do it. He pulled the knife out and went back to his apartment where he waited on police. He's currently listed in fair condition. Posting another person's naked pictures online is close to becoming illegal in Georgia. State representatives have voted to approve a bill that will ban revenge porn in the state. Now, Governor Nathan Deal has 40 days to review the bill and decide whether to sign it into law. Federal authorities have ordered the removal of a rundown barge from the Tennessee River in Chattanooga. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says it's revoked the permit for the barge. It's given the owner 60 days to remove it. But Alan Casey, the man who brought the barge to Chattanooga in the first place, has filed for bankruptcy, and he's being sued by investors who say they own the barge. Now, those ownership issues could complicate the removal of the barge, but if it isn't gone within 60 days, Casey could be fined $2,500 and face up to a year in prison. A new ruling from Tennessee's Attorney General is shocking some parents. The ruling says school principals don't have to notify parents if a child's interrogated at school by the police. That raises some concerns because research shows children usually agree with authorities and even give false confessions when questioned by police. And the law appears to be the same in Georgia. But one officer we spoke with says children are interrogated at school only a few times a year, and both Chattanooga Police and the Sheriff's Office say they try to contact parents before questioning students, even though they're not required to wait for a response. For the second time in less than a year, scores of elderly and disabled residents have been evacuated from a downtown high-rise after a fire. The 18-story JC Towers was cleared after an electrical fire in the mechanical room on Monday. Approximately 150 residents were removed from the tower. Many were sent to emergency shelters overnight. The situation caused flashbacks to an electrical fire at Patton Towers last May that sent over 200 residents to shelters for more than a week. But this time, repairs are being made quickly, and plans are for residents to return to the building today. A children's therapy clinic in Chattanooga has been shut down amid a fraud investigation by the TBI. The Center for Pediatric Therapy closed without warning last week after the TBI executed a search warrant to investigate Medicaid fraud. Owner Melody Gaston's occupational therapy license expired about 6 months ago. She shut the business down on her own accord. Scottie Mayfield is backing his former opponent, Chuck Fleischmann, for Congress. Mayfield says he's supporting Fleischmann to set the record straight. He says he's had multiple calls from people who say other candidates mentioned they had Mayfield's support. But Weston Wamp is the only other announced Republican candidate for the post, and he says Mayfield's announcement was retaliation for something his younger sister, Cody, did during the last campaign.
Well, I'm not sure I'm qualified to really answer that from a state answer, but I almost feel like you answered it yourself.
She allegedly made and uploaded a YouTube video called Scottie Mayfield Struggling to Answer Basic Questions. One Democratic candidate, Mary Hedrick, has also picked up papers for the race. Finally, 2 teenagers who went fishing at Blythe Ferry at the Ray and Meigs County line have caught more than they expected. Mark Spicer and Dylan Crumbly reeled in 2 large bags filled with more than $10,000. ABC Radio says the boys called the Ray County Sheriff's Office to report the find. Officials say the money was dyed red and is believed to be linked to a recent bank robbery. Turning to weather, today will be cloudy with a high near 57 degrees. The low tonight will be around 45. That's it for today's newscast. Thanks for being with us. You can find more on these stories and breaking news all day long at timesfreepress.com.